In example 2.28, we are given with lth, mth and nth terms of an APR x, y, z, which means lth term is x, mth term is y, nth term is z. Then what we have to show, that is, we have two subdivisions to do. We will do one by one. The first subdivision given is this. The left hand side, which is equals to right hand side, is what we have to prove. So what will we do is, let us take a as the first term and d as a common difference. According to the given statement, lth term is x. Therefore, we can represent TL is equals to x and mth term is y. Therefore, we can represent Tm is equals to y. Nth term is z. Therefore, Tn is equals to z. Now, what we have to do is, I will consider this as equation 1, 2 and 3. See, we know the formula for Tn, which is nth term a plus n minus 1 into d. If it is nth term, here we have n. Similarly, if it is lth term, we have to replace n as l. So, I am going to write equation 1 as TL is equals to x. So, this can be written as a plus l minus 1 into d, which is equals to x. I am going to consider this as equation 4. Similarly, for Tm, we can replace n as m. Therefore, a plus m minus 1 into d equals to y. I have rewritten second equation as such and I am considering this as equation 5. Similarly, we are going to rewrite the third equation, and the left hand side could be written as a plus n minus 1 into d, which is equals to z. I am considering this as equation 6. Now we will consider the given problem which is given. We will consider the left hand side, we will bring the right hand side, which is 0. What it is given is, left hand side is x into m minus n plus y into n minus l plus z into l minus m. X value according to the given hints, we got it as a plus l minus 1 into d. So, I am going to replace x as a plus l minus 1 into d. This is x and we have m minus n. Next, what we are going to write is, we are going to write the value of y as a plus m minus 1 into d. So, y is written as a plus m minus 1 into d and we have n minus l. Next is z, we are going to write it as a plus n minus 1 into d. A plus n minus 1 into d into l minus m. We have to simplify this and we have to bring the right hand side as 0. Okay, let us simplify. What we are going to do is, we are going to multiply this term to both the terms, which means a into m minus n plus d into l minus 1 m minus n plus similarly a into this term and the second term into this term, a into n minus l plus d into m minus 1 into n minus l. Similarly, a into this term and d into this term, a into l minus m plus d into n minus 1 l minus m. So, next what we are going to do is, in these three terms a is common. So, we will take a common from the terms which I have underlined, a in common, the remaining we will have is m minus n. Similarly, here we have taken a in common, the remaining is n minus l. In this also we have taken a in common, the remaining is l minus m plus, and if you see in the other three terms we have d in common. So, we take d in common, what will we get is L minus 1 M minus N plus we have taken D in common, the remaining is M minus 1 N minus L. We have taken D in common, the remaining is N minus 1 L minus M. So within the brackets if you see, plus M minus M will get cancelled, minus N plus N will get cancelled, minus L plus L will get cancelled, this will become 0. Therefore A into 0 plus D into, we have to simplify all the terms within the brackets. So for between these two terms what we have to do, we have to multiply L with these two terms and minus 1 with these two terms. The similar steps should be followed to the other two terms as well. What we have to do is L into M, L into N minus Ln. Next similarly with 1 minus M plus N. The same we have to follow M into N, M into L minus N plus L. Next is N into L, N into M minus L plus M. So Lm plus and minus will get cancelled, Ln plus and minus will get cancelled, M plus and minus will get cancelled, N plus and minus will get cancelled, Mn plus and minus will get cancelled, L as well plus and minus will get cancelled. So within the brackets it has become 0. Therefore A into 0 plus D into 0, which is A into 0 is 0, D into 0 is 0. So we got the answer as 0. This is what we are asked to prove. Therefore, hence proved. We have taken the left hand side and we brought the right hand side as 0. In the second subdivision, we have to consider the left hand side and we have to prove it is 0. So in the left hand side it is given as x minus y into n plus y minus z into L plus z minus x into m. So if you see in this, we have within the brackets as x minus y, y minus z minus x. So we have to find x minus y first. This could be easily found out using the three equations 4, 5 and 6. If I do 4 minus 5, I will get x minus y. So we have to do fourth equation minus fifth equation. Fourth equation, the left hand sides of 4 and 5 is x and y. So 4 minus 5 it is x minus y, and on the right hand, on the other side it is a plus l minus 1 into d. This is x minus y value is a plus m minus 1 into d. We have to simplify this. X minus y is equals to a plus l into d minus d minus a minus m into d. We have minus over here and minus over here, it will become plus d. So on the right hand side, plus a minus a will get cancelled, minus d plus d will get cancelled. The remaining is x minus y equals to, from this we can take d in common, it will become l minus m. So we have found x minus y. Similarly, we have to find y minus z and z minus x. For finding y minus z, we can get the help of equation 5 and 6. So we have to do 5 minus 6. So 5 minus 6, if it is y minus z on the right, and on the other side it is a plus m minus 1 into d minus z value is a plus n minus 1 into d. We have to simplify this. Y minus z is equals to a plus md minus d minus a minus nd, minus minus will become plus 1 into d. So plus a plus d minus d will get cancelled. Y minus z is equals to, we can take d common, the remaining will be m minus n. So now we got x minus y y minus z. Next, similarly, if we do 6th equation minus 4th equation, we will get z minus x. 6th equation is z, 4th equation is x. We will simplify the other side as well. Z is a plus n minus 1 into d minus x is a plus l minus 1 into d. Z minus x is equals to a plus nd minus d minus a minus ld, minus into minus plus d. So plus a minus a will get cancelled, minus d plus d will get cancelled. Z minus x is equals to, if we take d in common, we will get n minus l. So thus we got the values of x minus y, y minus z, z minus x. Now what will we do is, we will substitute x minus y, y minus z, z minus x in the left hand side of the given equation. So x minus y is d into L minus m, and we have n over here, plus y minus z is d into m minus n into L, plus z minus x is d into n minus L into m. So in the next step, what we are going to do is, in all the terms we have d in common. Taking d in common, the remaining will be L into n minus m into n. Similarly, taking d in common, m into L minus n into L. Taking d in common, n into m minus L into m. So plus Ln minus nl, plus and minus of mn, plus and minus of ml will get cancelled. D of 0 will give us 0. So thus we have taken the left hand side and we have proved that it is 0. Hence proved. Next is, we are going to see the note. If the sum of 3 consecutive numbers are given, 3 consecutive numbers of an AP is given, then we can take the consecutive numbers as a minus d, a plus d, and d is common difference. Similarly, if the sum of 4 consecutive numbers are given, of an AP is given, then we can take the 4 consecutive numbers as a minus 3d, a minus d, a plus d, a plus 3d, whereas for the 4 consecutive numbers, the common difference is (2d). So when the sum of 3 consecutive numbers in an AP is given, we can consider the 3 consecutive numbers as a minus d, a plus d, and the common difference for this is d. And when a sum of 4 consecutive numbers in a problem of an AP is given, we can consider the 4 consecutive numbers as a minus 3d, a minus d, a plus d, a plus 3d, and the common difference for this will be 2d. So in example 2.29, what it is given is, sum of 4 consecutive terms is 28 and sum of their squares is 276, and we have to find the 4 consecutive terms. As I already told you, when it is given as sum of 4 consecutive numbers, the 4 consecutive numbers can be considered as a minus 3d, a minus d, a plus d, a plus 3d. So first option it is given as sum of 4 consecutive terms is 28, which means we have to add all these 4 terms, which will be equals to 28. So a minus 3d plus a minus d plus a plus d plus a plus 3d, which is equals to 28. So what it is now is plus 3d minus 3d will get cancelled, minus d plus d will get cancelled. A is 4 times, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4a equals to 28, a equals to 28 by 4, therefore a equals to 7. So we have found out the value of a as 7. And the second hint it is given as the sum of their squares is 276. Sum of their squares is each number has to be squared and we have to sum the numbers, which will be equal to 276. So now a minus 3d squared plus a minus d squared plus a plus d squared plus a plus 3d whole squared, which is given as 276. Now in the next step what we have to do is we have to use a minus b whole square and a plus b whole square accordingly for all the 4 terms. So a minus 3d whole square is we have to use a minus b whole square, which is a square minus 2ab plus b square. Next a plus b whole square is a square plus 2ab plus b square. So for the first term a value is a and b value is 3d. So we'll use a minus b whole square formula. A square minus 2 into a into b. 2 into a into 3d. It will give me 6ad plus b square is 3d square. 3d square is 9d square. So first term is complete. The second term is a minus d whole square. A value is a, b value is d. Therefore a square minus 2 into a into d plus d square. Similarly to the third term we have to use a plus b whole square. So a square plus 2ad plus d square. To this we have to use a plus b whole square. So I'll get a square plus 6ad plus 9d square, which is equals to 276. Now what it will happen is minus 6ad plus 6ad will get cancelled. Minus 2ad plus 2ad will get cancelled. So a square it is 4 times. So 4a square, 9d square plus 9d square, 18d square plus d square is 19 plus 1 is 20. So 20d squared, which is equals to 276. Next we know the value of a, which we already found. Therefore 4 into 7 square plus 20d squared equals to 276. 7 squared it is 49. 4 into 49 plus 20d squared equals to 276. 9 4s are 36, 3 balance, 4 4s are 16, 19 plus 20d squared equals to 276. We will take 196 to the other side, it will become minus 196. Therefore 20d squared, which is equals to 276 minus 196. 20d squared equals to 276 minus 196, it is 0. 17 minus 9 it is 8. So 80. D square equals to 80 by 20. 0 0 will get cancelled. 2 4s are 8. D square equals to 4. D equals to plus or minus 2. So D value we got as 2 values. One is plus 2 and the other one is minus 2. And the A value we got as 7. So we will substitute the value of A and D in the 4 consecutive terms. We will get the 4 numbers. So this is how we have to find when an AP with the 4 consecutive terms is given. So first what we have to do is, we have A value as a unique value, whereas D we have as 2 values. So we have to find the 4 terms for both the values of D. So first what am I going to do is, if A equals to 7 and D we will consider it as plus 2, we will find the 4 terms. And the second case what will we do is, we will consider the A value we will consider the A value as 7 and D value as minus 2 and we will find the case 2. For case 1, A equals to 7, D equals to 2, we will substitute in the 4 consecutive terms. So, 7 minus 3 into 2, comma 7 minus 2, 7 plus 2, 7 plus 3 into 2. So, 7 minus 6, comma 7 minus 2 it is 5, 7 plus 2 it is 9, 7 plus 6, 7 minus 6, 1, 5, 9, 13. So, these are the 4 consecutive numbers for the values of A and D. In case 2, what we have to do is, we have to consider the value of A as 7, D as minus 2. We have to substitute in the same 4 consecutive terms. So, A value is 7 minus 3 into D value is minus 2, comma A value is 7 minus, in D we have one minus, so it will become plus 2. A value 7, we have plus over here and D we have minus, therefore it will become minus 2, 7 plus 3 into minus 2. So, 7 minus into minus plus 6, comma 7 plus 2 it is 9, 7 minus 2 it is 5, 7 minus 6. So, 7 plus 6 it is 13, 9, 5, 1. So, these are the 4 consecutive numbers in both the cases. Thus, we have found. So, in example 2.30, a mother divides rupees 207 into 3 parts such that the amount are in AP, which means we have to consider the 3 consecutive numbers A minus D, A plus D, and the product of 2 least amounts that the children had is 4623. We have to find the amount received by each child. So now what we have to do is, first step, 207 is divided in 3 parts. So we have to consider 3 consecutive terms, A minus D, A plus D, and 207 which is divided into 3 parts to 3 children. Vice versa, how it could be said is, when the sum of the 3 children will give 207. Both are one and the same. So what we are going to do is, we have to sum all these 3 terms, A minus D, A plus D, which is equals to 207. So 207 divided into 3 parts and sum of the 3 terms is equals to 207 is the one and the same. So now plus D and minus D will get cancelled. 3 times of A equals to 207. Therefore A equals to 207 divided by 3. 207 when it is divided by 3, it gives us the answer as 6 times 18, 2, 7. So 9 times. A equals to 69. We found out the value of A. Now next what we have to do is, we are given with product of 2 least amounts that the children had is 4623, which means product of 2 least amounts. Among these 3, we have to consider any 2 values that the product of those 2 terms is 4623 according to the question as it is given. So how to find which is the least 2 among these 3 is, let us consider the value of A as 5 and the value of D is equals to 2. We will substitute in this, we will get a solution, we will find which is the least among the 2. So A minus D is 5 minus 2, A value is 5, A plus D is 5 plus 2. Therefore 3, 5, 5 plus 2 is 7. So among these 3, 3, 5 is the least and 3, 5 we got from the first term and the second term. So among these 3, the least 2 is A minus D and A. According to the question, the product of 2 least amounts of the children is 4623. So product of A minus D into A equals to 4623. Now we know the value of A, that is 69. We will substitute that. 69 minus D into 69 equals to 4623. So 69 minus D equals to 4623 divided by 69. I am taking the 69 to the other side. 4623, when it is divided by 69, it gives us the value 67. So I'll take d to the other side, it will become plus d. 67 to the other side, it will become minus 67. Therefore, 69 minus 67 equals to d. D value is equals to 2. So we got the value of a and d. If we substitute in this 3 consecutive terms, we will get the amount which is received by each child. So we will substitute in this 3 consecutive terms. A minus d, A plus D. So A value is 69, D value is 2. 69 minus 2, comma D, A value is 69, comma 69 plus 2. 69 minus 2 is 67, 69 and 71. So 67, 69, 71 is the amount received by each child. Therefore, the amount received by each child is rupees 69, rupees 67, rupees 69, rupees 71.